Hi guys, it's me, Wanda. How are you guys doing? I just got off of work and I have a confession to make, y'all. I am a mammy that is reformed, or a reformed mammy. Maybe I didn't say that right. Cynthia G has got me straight, y'all. I had to break down and apologize to Miss Cynthia G. Shout out to Cynthia G for opening my eyes to a lot of things that I was blind to. As a black woman, in America, as a black woman who is married, and just as a black woman dealing with black men. Anyway, so hey y'all, I've been watching YouTube about this woman by the name of Miss Tabitha Brown. Shout out to Miss Tabitha Brown, honey. Obviously, she's like a YouTube success story that I didn't know anything about before a couple of days ago, right? Apparently, she has been married for over 20 years, similar to myself. Well, not married over 20 years. I've been married to my husband. We just celebrated our 16th year married, but we've been together for a little bit over 20 years. So shout out to you, honey. But really, y'all, real talk, I'm about to get a little bit personal with y'all, okay? I try to keep it real and 100 with you guys to the best of my ability, and by doing so, like Miss Brown, as you can see, she's being torn down and ridiculed by so many different people. Now, I don't know if you all heard the video that Miss Brown came out with. I was going to play it and do a play-by-play, but there are so many other videos, guys, that you guys can watch and hear their take on it and what she said and everything, and their commentary, on it. But in a GIF, basically what she's saying is that she's been with her husband for over 20 years. They moved from wherever they moved from. I don't recall where they moved from, but they moved to Los Angeles. She had a dream of becoming an actress and I guess becoming successful in entertainment business. And, in a marriage, you have two people coming together as one, and you're supposed to have an open line of communication about your finances and everything. And so apparently, their goal was, okay, well, I'm the star in the family. I guess I know that I can create something huge for us as far as, going into that 1% bracket of becoming wealthy in the upper six figures. And, to do that, you're going to work, and I may get some odd jobs or whatever. I heard her mentioning something about working at Macy's and bringing in some income, and then once I make it big, then we'll go from there. Okay, so apparently this gentleman, her husband, he was a police officer, and before that, I guess they struggled really, really, really hard. I think she said she had about $8,000 moving to California back in 2004. And I can tell you, 2004, right before the market crashed, California was not as expensive as it is now. I live in Southern California, and it is high as hell out here. And I almost can't afford it. It's just ridiculous. So, Miss Brown and her husband, they relocated out here and struggled for many years. And apparently, I guess the bulk of the income, he was... paying the bills and stuff like that while she pursued her dreams. And in that, you might, like I said, have two people coming together, and that's what they will have to do. And so I listened very, very, very carefully of her story. I listened to a few of the commentators or the YouTubers, content creators come on, and some of them were single women. I haven't really heard a lot of married women come out and speak on it. But I'm just here to tell y'all, look, I hear a lot of criticism that this woman is getting. In a perfect world, no. It's not supposed to be like that. Okay, the man is ultimately supposed to be the provider of the family. He is the one that's supposed to be the breadwinner, the earner, and the one to retire the wife. That's just the order of it. That's just how it's supposed to be. But we know, especially in America and Black America, that a lot of things are out of order, okay? So, unfortunately, the reality of it is that not many Black women have men on their level. You know, yes, they started off probably, I guess he's a police officer, and, you know, depending on what they rank, I don't know if he was on the beat or if he was a detective. I know a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine who are married to cops, and they make over 6 figures, you know. So they seem to be living okay, living pretty decently. One of them is allowed to stay at home while her husband works, and he doesn't work more than one job in California, being a cop. You know, because I've heard people say, well, if you're a cop, you know, a lot of police officers work more than one job. I haven't really looked on their website to see exactly how much they make, but they seem to be doing pretty good with her being a stay-at-home mom. So, she's made it big. I'm assuming that she must be, if not close to being a millionaire, somewhere in the millionaire's level. I looked at their house, the beautiful home. So they're doing quite well. And to me, it doesn't make much sense for her to be making that much money and for him to be risking his life as a police officer. Okay, in my head when I first heard it. Now, on the flip side of all of that, because yeah, that's one side, that's the practical side, and as y'all know, like I said before, our men unfortunately are not on our level. I've heard things, you know, just some really bad things people were saying about her, like, okay, well, she dated down or married down. Well, no, because when they got married, it sounds like she didn't have shit either. So you have two people that doesn't have shit, and then she surpassed him. But apparently that was their plan as a married couple. My only problem with that, okay, and I'm hoping and praying that, even though I don't know this lady, she's a beautiful woman. She's a Black woman. So I always say that I want us to win, right? So I'm hoping that he will be a good guy and a good husband, and the money won't change him or her, and they'll be able to stay together as a couple, you know. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, you know. And like I told you guys, I classify myself as being a reformed mammy, or mammy in reform. And what opened my eyes about all of this was B. Smith. Remember the story of B. Smith and how she didn't have anything and she married a guy that didn't, she had a lot going for herself, and she married Dusty, I think his name was Dan, Dusty Dan, and she had all this money, all this beautiful woman, and she met this man, and she got ill, and to me, he violated her in their marriage in the worst way possible, by bringing another woman and starting a relationship with someone else while she was ill. Okay? And so that always kind of like registered in the back of my mind, like, oh shit, you know, this could happen. And I always say, we can't be so far in love, ladies, to where we lose ourselves or we don't make provisions just in case, you know. And that's how it's supposed to be. Your husband is supposed to be there for you. He's supposed to take care of you, you know, when you're sick or when things happen. However, it's not always the case. And it doesn't matter how long you've been with your spouse. Okay? So I just hope this woman is smart. I don't think that there will be a prenup involved because they're already married. So whatever she has and she gains in the state of California is a community property. So it doesn't matter if the man has and then the woman follows or vice versa. It's still the same, you know. So I think, you know, a lot of Wendy Williams is receiving a lot of hate too about what she said about this woman and her relationship with her husband. And even though Wendy Williams is scorned probably because of Kevin, what Kevin did to her ex-husband, I think maybe in a sense Wendy was trying to give her a word of caution, like, girl, be careful. This is what could potentially happen to you. I don't know you, but you know, this could happen to you. And so, of course, Tabitha, Miss Brown, came back with a clap back to Wendy and was like, hey, you know, my marriage is of the Lord. And because we have God's covering, and I prayed, and God manifested all of this, Wendy Williams, I'm going to pray for you. So, yeah, honey, she clapped back big time. And in it, I am just hoping and praying that she is real. I don't know these people, so I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to judge her marriage, her relationship. I've never really watched their videos as a whole. But I am rooting for Tabitha Brown and her husband. I really am. Okay, but on the flip side, like I said, I'm going to get a little disclosure, or I'm not saying that right. I'm a little tipsy too because I've been sipping on this wine. I will say this. A man needs to feel like a man, ladies. And there is something that happens, okay, to you in your relationship with the man. Even if he takes care of you and you're going to him for money or whatever, he's a provider, right? And even if, you know, in the relationship, he's helping you succeed, or, you know, you're staying at home, you're going, it's like I did. I was a stay-at-home mom for years, and I went to school. And I graduated with my master's degree in nursing, okay? And before I got injured, now I'm working at home doing case management utilization review. But before I got injured, I had a goal. I was going to go into public health nursing. I did the vaccines, and I was going to travel to different states or whatever and continue on the journey of helping to vaccinate America. That's what I wanted to do. I loved it. And I was making like $85, $90 an hour. Okay? 12 hours, 4 days a week. And then I got paid time and a half after 8 hours. So the last 4 hours I got time and a half. So I was bringing in more money than I ever made before. And it was more money than my husband makes. And ladies and gentlemen, I noticed a change. I did. I noticed a change. It wasn't anything that I did. I didn't do anything wrong or anything like that. But I don't know. It just, and I asked him, you know, we talked about it and everything, but no. it was something different and off. And now I'm starting to realize that in black men, you know, and I'm not putting my husband down. He was down for me, my children and everything. But in African American men, I can honestly say that they get intimidated. And they do not like you having degrees or whatever, especially if they're not on the same level educational wise, you know. And I remember along the way, you know, I would say to him, hey, why don't you take some classes or do this, that, and the other. He was never interested in doing so, and so that's not my fault. But I don't know, and I just hope and pray that for this woman over here who has all this money now, or that now that, you know, she wants him to dream and to go out and to live his dream, that when he sees her in her glory and her light and doing all these wonderful things for herself, and his career is maybe not as popping as hers, that he won't become resentful. He won't resent her. And they'll continue to grow as one, as a couple. But, you know, like I said, it's just, then I fell. I fell on my job and I had to stop working. And then I noticed, you know, things were kind of better. but now I'm back at work. And though I'm not making as much money as I was when I was vaccinating, I still am making a pretty good chunk. And I hear, you know, different things being said to me, and I'm noticing certain things that I never noticed before, ladies and gentlemen. And so my thing is that, I don't know, my eyes are popping up and I'm doing things to protect myself just in case, because like I said, it doesn't matter how long you've been with someone, you know, at any given point, things can change. Things can change, people change, and, you know, hopefully, you know, the rift or whatever, it won't be too much and we'll be able to resolve these things. But you have to protect yourself. And that would be the advice that I would give to Miss Brown. And yes, we are Christians. You know, sometimes I may not always act like a Christian. You know, I have this potty mouth and this other side. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. He's seen that other side of me. But for the most part, this is how I am. I like being in this zone with this feminine nature that I have, and I'm no longer a mammy. Hell to the no, I'm no longer a mammy, honey. And so continue on with your education and your degrees, to continue to take care of your mind, okay? Continue to not spend all of your money, whether you are in a relationship or not, just in case, okay? And if you are in a relationship with a man, regardless if he is a high earner or not, you know, stay on one accord, communicate often and frequently, and be careful, because you want to be with a man that provides for you, ladies, no matter what. It doesn't matter, even if you have a whole lot of money. It is up to him and you to come together and say, okay, this is us as one, you know. This is us. We are one. And so that's all I wanted to come on to tell you. And Miss Brown, you probably won't see, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, so you probably won't even see this video, but I am rooting for you in your marriage. And I hope, you know, I know you said that your husband was into some non-profiting things to help the kiddos out there and in the community and stuff like that. So I'm really rooting for you, girl. Anyway, God bless, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.